Hello, Uber Rock Television, Sunday morning viewing. We're here in Cardiff in a lovely little coffee shop with this chap called Jimmy. He's from a really cool band called The Graveltones, and this is the producer Charlie, is it? So, I guess we just start by saying it's gone crazy this year for you.
Yeah.
It must feel like it's happened overnight. I'm sure it hasn't.
No, that's it. It seems like everything's heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Things are starting to see a few of the fruits of our hard work.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the exposure is the difficult thing. I mean, you could perhaps be the greatest band in the world, but if you don't get the correct exposure to a larger audience, then it can all seem a bit difficult. So is it right this year kind of the way it all changed for you, the turning point, like earlier this year, was it?
I think so. I mean, we've finally got some really good management early on this year, and then we played a few more high-profile gigs, support the Graveltones. Did wonders for us. So yeah, I think after that a lot of the press has started sort of taking notice of us now. We released a single and a video, and there's just been a lot of talk of us, and we've just noticed with the gigs as well, a lot more people coming to the gig, playing a lot more sold-out shows, and not just in the UK, we just played Berlin, and we had 2 sold-out shows over there, so word seems to be spreading now, and there seems to be a little bit of hype around it, but yeah, it's good.
Berlin's a cool place, I've been there once or twice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So you got a bit of a fan base there then as well?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're starting to get quite a good fan base. It's still a very small fan base, but quite a dedicated fan base around Europe. But Berlin, we love Berlin as a city, so we like to get back there. And the music scene over there is fantastic. So we've been there 3 times in the last 5 months. And just recently, just last weekend, we went back, and it just feels like we're starting to make an imprint there now. People that came to see us the first time, and they came to see us the second time, and then the third time, and we sold out, so it's really good.
Good news there. And so you're doing the album, the album's done.
The album's done now.
But you used the pledge campaign, which I was interested in asking you about.
Yeah.
That's been good for you then, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, we were very dubious at first of whether to do the pledge thing or not. Obviously, a lot of people view it as, you haven't been signed, it was kind of a new thing, and it was new to us, and we really didn't know what it was all about, but then we sort of got, we sat down and we talked about it, and people explained what it was actually about, and like we've said many times, in its simplest form, it's just pre-ordering an album before it's made, and I think it's a fantastic idea. It gives fans an opportunity to make an album without having a label and make the album they want.
Cutting out the middleman, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And for bands that don't have a great budget, they're able to, but have a good fan base, they're able to get their fans involved in a more personal level.
It's giving you a real sort of direct control over it, really.
Absolutely,
isn't it?
yeah.
You're just saying to people, do you want an album?
Yeah, exactly, and you get an idea of the amount of interest that's out there for the album as well. So
plus you can actually make the album that you want.
Complete creative control.
There's no guys in suits and ties just saying,
Exactly, and I think that was one of the the main reasons that we did it. Apart from the fact that it was a great way to fund the album for us. It keeps the fans involved, and like I say, complete creative control. So that's
because it's even some bands who've become quite established in the country over the last couple of years. They've gone. I mean, there's a band from Cardiff called International. I don't know where. The album Black Junk came out 2 years ago. Great acclaim in the press. Towards people like Ginger and the Wild Lots. And they won an award as well, but they've gone to the pledge campaign to make the second album, so I guess and I'm sure they could have probably got it, but they've gone it for those reasons, I imagine. And also Bangle Black Spiders have done it as well. They've done it as well. I'm guessing it's the exact reason for this discussion.
Yeah, I think just
gives you complete...
The musos that are out there at the moment getting about, I mean, it's just, you know, when you're not signed and you don't have a label or you know, a massive budget, like I said, it's something that, you know, it just gives you the freedom to do what you want to do without having to, you know, put in like money that you don't have or have to sign a deal that you don't want to sign just to get the budget to be able to do what you want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's part of the revolution that you talked about in a recent classic rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I think music's taken a different turn these days. It's just, I think it's something like purchase the right way.
I noticed in some of the things I've been to, there's still a lot of politics and a lot of doors closed when it comes to trying to get into agencies or tours, etc. You know, that is still very difficult to
Yeah, things seem to be doing well, so I think we've still got our fingers crossed, you know, and we're still working very, very hard at it. It's just a matter of, you know, keep on playing, keep on writing, keep on getting better, and just do your job, and then, you know, people like it, and happy days.
So, before we go on a bit more about the album then, I suppose it's interesting as some people want to make it as a story of you and your partner, Michael, is it?
It is, yeah.
Keep it be. I was just reading in the magazine how it's embellished every time it gets told, but it's pretty simple basically.
It is a very simple story. It was basically, I mean, we both moved over here from a similar town in Australia, very close to each other. We were kicking around on the same circuit in Australia, but we never actually met each other over there, so we both moved over here around a similar time, about 3 years ago. Both got jobs in Denmark. He was working at the drum shop on one side, and directly opposite I was working on the guitar shop. And it was literally, I was trying to put something together, so I went down, introduced myself, and was like, oh hey man, yeah, cool, oh, you play drums, fantastic, do you want to have a jam? You know, so we went for a beer, spoke about a few things, realised we got on, went for a jam, and I kind of said, put it on Mikey while we were in the rehearsal room, I was like, oh look man, I've got this gig booked at 100 Club in 3 days, do you want to play it?
Was that quick?
Yeah, it was like we had one jam, and he was like, yeah, okay, so I had a bunch of songs, and he was like, yeah, cool, so we recorded the rehearsal. He took it home, learnt the songs, and then we were playing after.
Was there ever a bass player plan?
There was a bass player plan. We were waiting for a very good friend of ours from Australia, a very lovely lady, to play bass for us, but she had to move back to Australia for a few different reasons. But she was going to come in, and we were going to have a female bass player, and then that didn't happen, so then we were sort of looking for another bass player, and we were waiting around for a while for a few different, a rehearsal with one even, I think. And then at the end of it, we just ended up booking more and more shows, and then after I say around 15 shows, we kind of just went, well, you know, we've been doing it this long without it, and the reception's been great, so let's just keep doing it. And it made life easier as well.
I wonder if there's a lot of duos along the lines of yourself, not a lot, but a growing number, and I wonder if that was maybe the thing with a lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the originals are White Stripes, and maybe they make people realise that, well, we can.
Yeah,
it is acceptable because it was always always have to be at least 3 of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
more acceptable now.
The funny thing is, and something that I was quite surprised about because it wasn't like a pre-planned thing that we were going to be a duo. It was just something that happened. And when I look back at all the duos over the years, it's kind of like, you know, the Flat Duo Jones and all those kind of bands that are fantastic bands, and it's kind of like it was only because of the you know, obviously bands like the White Stripes and Black Keys who really broke through in the mainstream market that made it acceptable. But for years there's been, you know, duos about that have been doing good things, but whether it's and a lot now that, you know, you've got bands like what are those girls called?
Deep Valley.
Deep Valley, they're fantastic, absolutely fantastic band. They're really, really good. And bands like that are coming through the scene now that we love, we're big fans of, and it's kind of, whether it's because it's easier or whether it's just something that happens, whether it's because of the whole White Stripes Black Keys thing, I don't know.
Exactly, well,
I think it's a good thing no matter what.
I saw another band last year called the Japan Brides, 2 American guys. Still the thing. And of course we've got our own down here, it's called Henry's Funeral Show. Them guys I mentioned. Same, and I'm pretty sure they were 100% planning to get a big split in.
Yeah.
After a while,
Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
"Yeah, this is pretty cool actually, let's just do it." Yeah. So, you came from Brisbane,
Yep.
you met in London, good gigs, you got the management thing.
Yeah, we just played for a long time. We just wanted to play gigs, and we never really spoke about what we wanted to do as a band or what our ambitions were. We just kind of had a lot of fun playing together.
Just let it grow organically.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, and it was kind of like I just kept ringing Mikey up saying we've got gigs. I kept booking gigs, and people kept asking us to play. So yeah, it was just kind of that organic thing. And after 6 months, we sort of went, wow, let's take it a little bit more serious now. And so we started writing a hell of a lot more. And we recorded an EP after 2 months together, 5 songs, just so we had something to get gigs with. And we did a single a little while ago, must be almost a year ago now, I Want Your Love, and now the album. So.
And then this year, obviously, the management thing, and then the classic rock CD.
Yeah.
You've got a song included on that. Within, it seemed like no time, you're playing Download Festival?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what did you make of all that then?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think it's kind of always been the direction that we wanted to go. Obviously, any band out there's really itching to get on the festival scene. It's a big thing for any band, and to be able to get on Download, and we were invited there by Andy Copeland, so to be able to get on Download was a huge thrill for us, and it's done wonders for us in terms of what we've been offered for next year and things like that.
Well, it's not bad to put that on a CD.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's all, is it?
So, and we had a bunch of fun, which was I think the most important thing of all. We really enjoyed playing. It was fantastic, and it was great to see. We didn't really know what to expect because we were playing an afternoon slot, so didn't know what it was gonna be like. But there was a lot of people that came along to see us, and we had a really good crowd. So
yeah, well, I think one of those things that there's so many people there. I think you do find a lot of people, especially during the daytime, they will go and check out other things.
Yeah.
Did you stay around yourselves for the weekend and see what was
We
going on there?
played the Sunday, so we weren't there for 2 days before. I was in vocals with Charlie actually a couple of days before, so we couldn't make it before.
You can't go gallivanting off, you've got work to do.
Yeah. And like Mikey said, if he was there for 3 days, it would have been messy.
Yeah,
we would have been
refreshed.
Too refreshed to play.
Alright, so on the Sunday, what were the big bands on the Sunday?
Rammstein headline.
Wasn't Queens of Stone Age that day?
No, I think they were a couple of days before Queens of Stone Age, but Iron Maiden was the day before. We had Rival Sons playing Sunday as well.
Oh yeah, and you've got to know those guys now, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're great friends of ours now. So I mean, really good guys and a fantastic band. So
I mean, they kind of been around on the scene in this country. A few years under these supported Judas Priest about 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Gig and Greek, that album came out last year, and it just seems to have really caught fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great album, So, I mean, every song on that album is absolutely fantastic.
It was a pretty cool tour. It's kind of a good time to catch them. That tour that you obviously supported them on.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that when they come again, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I think so. And I hope so, man, because they deserve every bit of it,
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of working on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So that sort of brings us right up to, the recording, I guess, of the album.
This man.
And this chap here, who's got the technical nous.
Absolutely. I mean,
negotiating.
we're really lucky.
Because it gets difficult to capture at times. And I read you talking about, that live sound you like.
Yeah.
It can be difficult. And then also these guys.
Yeah, I think it's important. We spoke a long time about what we wanted to do with the album, and we essentially just wanted to capture what we do live. Recommended Charlie, who are very good friends. Chris recommended who Charlie produced their album. Mix their album, engineer and mix their album.
Don't get sued.
Yeah.
I like to follow up with a friend of mine who produced it.
But we were recommended Charlie. We rang him up, and he came to London. We had a sit down, and we we played through the tracks the first time we came up, and we got on like a house.
You recorded it in Cardiff or in Cardiff?
In Cardiff, yeah.
It was actually recorded.
Well, in Mono Valley, don't you?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've seen Mono Valley. I've seen a few bands over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We just wanted a nice big room where we could get a ridiculous drum sound.
Yeah.
And that we got.
So very pleased with it so far then?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It sounded great. We couldn't be happier.
Oh, fabulous. So have you had a chance to sample the Cardiff nightlife, or has it been all work since
Pretty much work since we've been down here. I mean, we were at the studio for 7 or 8 days, I think it was. And we came to Cardiff. I mean, I'm half Welsh, so I love Wales. I think it's a beautiful part of, beautiful part of Europe. So, I mean, I love getting up here and just fresh air and the hillside, and especially in Mono Valley, it was beautiful just to be away from the city and be able to go outside and hear birds chirping and a river flowing.
So, for you, recording the debut album there, if you look back, I don't know if they got a guest book there, or you just look back through a list of some of the records that have been made or recorded at the studio, it must have been...
Oh yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It must be pretty impressive to you. It must have made you think...
Yeah, I mean, something that I'd like to look at heroes have been there, and a lot of Mikey's drum heroes have played good drums in that room, so it's very exciting. Scary and nerve-wracking at the same time. It's kind of like, wow, we're doing it now. This is really let's give it a go. So, yeah, we saw that rolling along, and at the end of the day, I think we did a great job. We're happy with the results.
So when are we looking at it?
September at the moment.
September is going to be
the latest September, yeah. I think it's...
Will it get a commercial release then?
Yeah, I think it's going to have a press release maybe 6 weeks before, so you guys can get it.
No, I mean, is it going to go on sale? I know
it will have
distribution,
but
it will get an actual release as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. We look forward to touring then, is it?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we're off to Stockholm next week to do a few gigs out there. We're at the Borderline next Wednesday on the 31st, and then album will come out, and then we'll do a string of European dates. Whether that's supporting a larger act or whether it's doing it live, obviously it's still undecided at the moment. But, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely be touring, put it that way. So we'll be all about definitely doing a UK tour. We'll definitely be back in Cardiff, and we'll be doing a lot of the European countries as well. And then at the end of the year, we'll be going and doing an Australasian tour as well. So
get back home. So, well, as you say, you have. So I have got a lot of family out in Brisbane as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Whereabouts in Brisbane?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I've never actually been there. There's a lot of internet.
Yeah.
So just a big chat in a bit more then. You enjoyed working with guys, like, be good fun? Or?
Oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah. They're just a really great, exciting band. And when I first met them in London, I kind of talked through what they'd done before, because the thing they released last year was like, it sounded great, and I said, in a way it sounds too good.
Yeah.
I said, I think we should do something that's just gnarly, and like, where we're not trying to make it perfect, so, it's not all done to machines, it's just like you two doing what you do, and make it as just obnoxious and in your face as possible. And they went for it. So yeah,
okay, he was thinking along our lines.
Yeah, so we just pursued that, and when we went to Mono Valley, we pursued it some more, and it's like, and it's great because I listen to all kinds of music, and you don't hear many people who are that uninhibited, really. There's a lot of records where people are striving for some idea of perfection and they end up making something that's quite sort of safe.
Yeah, well, I think it kind of went down that way for a long time, but there are rumblings that are coming back. I mean, I guess one of the biggest exposures at the moment is a band like the Joneses. We're doing this a really traditional sort of rock and roll kind of loose feel to it.
The thing is, these guys are such great players, and if you can play that well, you don't need anything else. And also it sets you apart, because people go and sing this, oh wow, that's amazing. You can't copy it very easily because it takes talent.
Well, that is the thing about being a duo, probably over and above anything else, isn't it? You really you really got to both excel and that really do it. It's not going to be competent. You've got to,
exactly.
you've got to be able
Yeah.
to put it out of the band.
So this is way down the scale from where these guys are at.
Absolutely.
And Mikey is absolutely animal with the drummer.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most sort of brutal drummers in the way he attacks to it, but also just so capable. He can play anything that he's got in his mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a joy to work with someone.
Chemistry going on there. So.
Yeah, and these two guys just work together so well, you know. It's just there hasn't been a difficult moment. You know, occasionally you kind of some things like a little bit harder to work out and you have to spend a bit of time, but mostly it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I guess also the least amount of band members, the less chance there is of a fallout.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Because that's been a big problem.
Can't
Sometimes
please
over the
fall
years,
into
isn't it? Exactly. Keep more happy.
Yeah.
So it's all gone swimming, you got to say, right?
I think we couldn't have asked for more. We've got out for what we've done. I think we had something in mind. We went for it. I think we achieved it. We were both saying yesterday we're really looking forward to when people get to hear it, see if they feel the way we do about it. And I kind of think they will. I think people just listen to it and go, wow, that's just crazy and very rock and roll, you know.
Yeah. Well, as you say, I'm a firm believer in the revolution of new bands. Because I think a lot of genres have continued to move with maybe at times with a rock scene. We've tended to look for the past and kind of sometimes you can get stuck in the past. But there really seems to be a genuine feel now that younger, newer bands and stuff are getting a bit more of exposure. And I think it's only going to get better, or I'm hoping it's only going to get better.
Well, I think one thing that's happened in the last 10 or 15 years is that, as it used to be the case when I was in bands years ago, that everybody was trying to get a record deal, and that was seen as the way life went. Of course, nobody thinks like that anymore.
No.
So the guys who were just in it because a record deal was a soft option, they've all gone. The guys who are doing it are the guys who really got something to say.
I think there's a few organisations need to catch on. There's one national rock station, which I won't mention. They still operate no unsigned bands policy, and the amount of times I've been
It doesn't make sense anymore.
Absolutely. They don't play any unsigned band. I mean, really, most bands could go and get signed tomorrow by a small label, but then hands are tied then.
It's meteoric, meaningless.
Yeah, exactly. It's meaningless unless you're operating on the sort of Coldplay commercial level at any of the big ones. I
mean, the way the sort of chart pop X Factor sort of bands work, that is only going to work with a huge amount of marketing and TV, which costs an enormous amount of money. So only the record companies can do that. The guys who just want to make the music they love, they don't need anyone to tell them they can do it. Like these guys, they're just going to do it.
Well, absolutely. I put it better myself. It's very heartening.
Yeah, no, it's
long may it continue.
I think there's been a lot of doom and gloom about the music business in the last particularly 5 years, and a lot of people getting depressed about it because it's changed. The industry isn't what it was. But I think there's every reason to be really positive because I think that what it's done for the music is actually incredibly good.
Well, I mean, as you say, a lot of people were in it for the easy ride because they had a deal or maybe they had a cushy number. They're out of the way, even from the point of view where I'm doing it today. Maybe years ago I wouldn't have had an opportunity because I wasn't working in it. But I'm moving around in circles now just purely as an enthusiastic fan, really. And getting opportunities to interact with actual recording bands or hopefully going to pave the future. Exciting time, well, everyone at Overrock is really into it.
Well, I loved watching this. I mean, I didn't go to Glasgow. I watched the Stones performance on TV. I thought it was great, but they're 70. They're not going to be doing very much longer. We need the people who are going to be doing that. They're not around.
Well, I believe that, and I think that's maybe been a hard thing for some of the people who are still in the industry, especially in some of the press to swallow. But they've got to sort of start bringing in, because it's easy to sell a magazine with Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin on the cover. But I think, and what I will mention, so we do this interview, a fellow I haven't actually physically met, but he's given me a lot of help this year. is Scott Rowley from Classic Rock.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy who's in a strong position, who does actually realise and empathise with guys like yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why he's pushing opportunities, because, as you say, they can't go on doing it forever, you know. And, you know, without a doubt, bands like Graveltones, I see the way forward.
Yeah.
And really goes back to them.
A new chapter.
Well,
You heard it here first.
yeah, fabulous. Well, should we wrap it up? Is that about it? Nothing else to add, is
Then we
there?
better crack on and get some more.
Well, thanks very much.
Very nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, fantastic. And yourself, Charlie.
And you,
Thanks
yeah.
very much.